One of the most common questions that I get, how did you find your purpose? Adults always tell me that I need to know what I want to do before college. I have 2 years left of high school, and I have no idea what I want to do. Do you think my life will be significantly harder if I don't choose immediately? I better hide my hospital. I'm playing around with my new phone today. I think I like it. So I got a letter from a student named Mackenzie, and I want to read her letter. She was responding to something that I wrote, and I had asked her, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And she said, oh gosh, so many things, like stop racism, stop sexism, stop homophobia, ban guns, lower the prices of college, cure cancer. But most, if not all, of these things are impossible. Really? And that's just like, I love this. I love what she's saying here. This is great. Except for the very last part, that these things are impossible. Oh, also, I think I might want to become a doctor. What are the pros and cons of these career paths, cost and time-wise? Well, first of all, yeah, it's too soon. You definitely don't need to know what you want to do in high school. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's way too soon. You just need to have a little bit of an idea, and start working in that general direction. But you can always change. But don't put so much pressure on yourself, and don't feel like anyone else should put pressure on you. So what is the best part of the job?
Dr. Mulek, how do you feel about your first day of work?
I'm very excited about first day of work. I think I was in bed for about 10 hours last night.
I guess I like the technical challenge of what I do.
You keep water chicken.
Shit, water my chicken now?
I think
So when I get to do a really difficult procedure, that's really fun for me, but especially when I can actually do something and I really like save the patient's life, and then when I get to meet with them or the family after, and then they thank me for it, that's the best. So I asked Mackenzie, how would you want to change the world? And she says, I just want to spread love, happiness, peace, and equality. I want to work on our broken healthcare system and prevent unnecessary death and violence. Again, it's awesome. I'm so proud of these high school students. This is exactly what we should be working on. So then, the things that she felt like she's not learning about that she wants to learn about, she says so much. Taxes, how to get insurance, how to buy a house and a car, how to get a job, succeed in college, our rights, the laws of our country, and how to travel outside the country. Yeah, I think that I agree that it's not, we don't teach students about taxes, and I don't think it's that difficult you should learn about insurance, and you learn a little bit about mortgage, but the one thing I would say is learn about debt, and just don't get any debt. That's difficult to say, because if you're gonna be a student and you're gonna continue on and either go to medical school, how do you pay for college, right? So, okay, but I guess what I'm saying is try to learn about the debt, and then if you're going to do educational debt, okay, that's one thing, but don't do car loans, don't have credit cards. It's not, some of this stuff is really not that difficult. You just need to spent a little bit of time learning about personal finance, and there's a lot of good blogs out there. If you're going into medicine or any type of healthcare, I recommend checking out the White Coat Investor website. I also really like, there's so many good financial websites. It's good to check out some of these, like Mr. Money Mustache. Just learn about really basic finance. Try to spend as little as possible. Don't get into any debt. So mortgage is debt. And, try to figure out how to just do a lot of savings. I mean, that's what some of the basic things I'll say about money. Traveling outside the country, I think for the most part, people are really just afraid to go. I mean, I've been to over 60 different countries, and it's one of my most favorite things that I do.
We're just wondering, like, I don't know what kind of life they're gonna lead, but
I just love to travel. And I think I would just say, like, just go for it. Get yourself a passport, go to the library, go to the travel section and just start looking at pictures, and then just pick a place and go. If you don't have a purpose, your purpose is to find your purpose. Now, what purpose means is it's basically the reason you get out of bed. And it always changes. I mean, part of why I get out of bed is because I take care of my children and they depend on me, and that's a great purpose. For a little while, my purpose was just trying to get into medical school, and everything that I did was all focused on just getting into school, and then there was the focus on just trying to get through school and get through residency, and then that has changed. I recommend taking some time with this, and then you can definitely change your purpose. But if we're talking about you not really knowing what you want to do, and you're very early on, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You can figure out, start small with figuring out some of the things that you like, and maybe figure out possibly going to a school that's going to help you grow as a person, and a school that's not going to force you to take a bunch of classes maybe that you don't want to take, and ultimately not be way too expensive, because that's one of the worst things, is you kind of get done with school and you're left with a lot of debt, and then you're scrambling to try to figure out how to pay for all of that education, and then still not really know what you want to do. So I don't think your life will be significantly harder if you don't choose immediately. No, I don't think your life is going to be harder. I mean, I can tell you that there were some things that I had thought about early in my life that I didn't really go after. Like music and performing arts, that I kind of put that all aside and decided I was just going to be a doctor. And all that stuff has kind of been on my mind for decades. I've always been wondering about it. So you don't want to just make a decision too fast if you're not ready, because you will eventually, you'll be thinking about it, and then life could possibly be harder later. Yes, so you want to become a doctor. Pros and cons of being a doctor. Well, the pros, lots of upside. The ability to be able to just help hundreds and thousands of people all around the world, give advice, work with your hands, something that's always in demand. I couldn't say enough good things about it. I mean, it feels good knowing that I wake up and I have, even when work is really frustrating, and it often is frustrating, at least I know that I'm really helping people. I don't want to talk about the cons, because I don't know, I don't want to put too many negatives inside your head. I think that I'm just gonna, I don't know, cost. I mean, it's expensive to become a doctor. It doesn't mean it's not worth it, but it's very expensive. That's, a lot of people don't realize how much it costs to go to medical school. And I had to take out loans for that, and I'm still paying my loans. At one point I had over well, I'm not going to say it, but a lot of educational debt, but it's not a reason to not do it. Anyway, I have to say I'm very impressed with Mackenzie's letter, and she's a high school student, and I think she's going to be very successful. Okay, so my main advice for Mackenzie is think about what you said in the very first question. Basically, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And that's basically the main question to help you find your purpose. And I would say try to go after that. And you had mentioned that maybe, those things might be impossible. See, I think that's what gives you purpose, is that when you think something is impossible and then you go for it anyway, I think that's what you need to do. So go spread love, spread happiness, peace, equality, fix the broken healthcare system, stop racism, stop sexism, stop homophobia, ban guns, lower the prices of college, cure cancer, do all of that. Best of luck, Mackenzie. Thank you for what you're doing.